So what policy initiatives do we need to implement to improve our production and growth indicator? We can start by one, reinstating the modernization of industry program. And the MOI program, which came to an end in March, was the only incentive offered to manufacturers and exporters to modernize and retool their factories. If we are to accelerate growth in the economy, we must encourage investment and expansion and change the culture, not only of our people, but of our leaders of our country. I will just say to you that I was questioned by one of the ministers recently who attacked me to say, but there's no growth happening in manufacturing. Nobody is investing. But look at how many hotels are going up and more stopover visitors coming in, and the tourism sector is growing. I'm not saying we must support tourism and we must support agriculture, but there was a waiver amount of $355 million for GCT for capital equipment in the month of March. That adds up to some $2 billion in equipment and facility equipment coming into Jamaica to be placed in our factories. And there's only one thing we can use that to do, is to increase production and our efficiencies and retool our plants so that we can be up to date with our counterparts, not only in the region, but globally. Allowing GCT deferral on goods purchased locally. Manufacturers currently benefit from GCT deferral on imported raw materials. And to spur purchases of local inputs, we are recommending that this be applied to locally produced raw materials as well. Implementing the procurement policy. We need to change our consumption patterns and make a choice by wherever possible purchasing Jamaican-made products. And I'm not saying to buy locally made products at any price, any quality, and just pay for it because it's Jamaican. What we're saying to you is wherever you can, where the products and services are of competing pricing, quality, etc., that we ask that you try in your best way to support Jamaican jobs. The government should lead this charge with the implementation of the procurement policy, and I know Steph, being at the JMA, she has probably heard me saying this for over 6 years, and we still have not gotten it right yet, because we need to set examples as our leaders. The government is the largest procurers of goods and services, and would you believe we're still printing our school books overseas? Our printers have retooled. Our printers have borrowed money. I mean, I sit on Exim Bank's board, so I know the quantity and amount of money they have been borrowing to retool and invest in updated equipment. And as a matter of fact, some of our printers have more updated equipment than some of our counterparts in Trinidad and Tobago. But yet still, our government, who are looking for jobs, are still importing these printed books that we are doing for our own school children. And I'm counting and pressuring our Minister of Education to try. I mean, if we took that one little area of printing, can you imagine the jobs that could be created, saving $600 million in finished products coming into Jamaica, saving on the freight, the amount of revenue that can be created by those companies, the creation of jobs, etc. So it's just a vicious cycle, and we need to do whatever is necessary to do so. I had to do something just to prove to government in my lobbying efforts. And what I did, we at the JMA negotiated with some investors to invest in a cardboard factory. And we were able to get Mr. Chang and a few other partners in opening up a cardboard company, and others to invest and retool some of the existing cardboard companies that were located here in Jamaica, because we were imported close to 100% of our cardboard boxes from Costa Rica, from Trinidad, from China, from everywhere else in the world. And our cardboard industry was working 1 day a week, 2 days a week, and they kept saying, oh, we can't compete. So what I did, we got the investors, we got their factories up and running, and then we brought them into the boardroom at the JMA. And I said to the customers that were importing, the clients who were importing, who are manufacturers, the paint companies, the beer companies, everybody that was importing these products, I brought them in. I said, when you're coming, bring me a sample, 3 samples or 4 samples of each product that you're importing. And what we did, we showed those samples to the local cardboard manufacturing companies and said, we need you to do a costing on these products to compete with what we're buying from overseas. The local manufacturing companies want to buy locally because then they can get just-in-time deliveries, which helps them with their cash flow. They don't have to bring in a container of cardboard box, which basically are paying for air in a container. So the cost of freight sometimes is more expensive than the actual value of the cardboard coming into Jamaica. Well, what basically has happened is that 70% of the cardboard that was imported into Jamaica is now being made locally. It has created a tremendous amount of jobs in that industry. The factories that were working 2 days a week are now working 5 and 7 days a week, sometimes double shifts. Government is getting more revenue, more jobs are being created, and trying to build that economy and get those companies going. So I had to prove to them that that one little area of packaging could have made a difference.